So my name is TJ Hu. I'm a PhD candidate in the Blaylock Lab. Right now we're at one of the newer buildings at UCSF. It's the Regenerative Medicine building. So I work on prostate cancer. I'm trying to find novel ways of how prostate cancer cells are able to communicate with other cells to allow them to grow better. And if we block these certain signals, perhaps we can stop prostate cancer growth and cure, and hopefully, cure or ameliorate the disease. So I was born in Durham, North Carolina, and we moved around, but eventually I grew up mostly in South Carolina. My mom is a filmmaker, a film producer, and my dad is a political science professor. And I grew up, doing everything. I loved, biology, physics classes, but I also really liked music. So for high school, I went to actually in like a boarding school for the arts. So I went, I played piano. I was in an arts high school, so I wanted to do something to even it out. So I did a summer research program at Clemson. That's the university where my father teaches. I got into this program where I could work with a scientist on some of his projects. What I ended up working on was really, really neat. So I work on extracellular microRNAs, to be more specific, in prostate cancer. And microRNAs are thought to only act in the cell. But once people found that microRNAs were outside of the cell, a lot of people initially thought it was just like junk. And it was just like due to like cells exploding and releasing all its contents. But they're beginning to have a lot of studies to figure out that these microRNAs may be doing something, and not much is known about this field. So I got really excited about the new stuff and how it can have a lot of implications in either biomarkers, so like determining if someone has a disease, but as well as therapeutics. So maybe if you curb some of this release, you can help cure the disease. I think the cool thing about science is there is no typical day. Everything depends on what you found the previous day. So I get up in the morning and I come to lab and basically I think like I plan out what I'm going to do all day.
Come on in.
So this is our building, it's our pod, and all these labs have different bays. If we turn around, here is where me and Samir work.
Right here, in between TJ's bench and my bench, is where we get the collaborations done. Now this may look like nothing to you, but there's a lot of hard work put into the thinking process, and then on the benches themselves is where we get a lot of the hard work done.
I think of it, a lab is almost like a playground to discover new things, and I just keep digging. If I dig and find something neat, I'll keep digging at that same spot. And you never really know what you're going to do until like a week before that or a couple days before that, because you can be finding new things all the time. This really cool new machine that we have is called the NanoCyte. So it's a tool to basically characterize and quantify these really small vesicles that I'm looking at. So these small vesicles are what's thought to carry the microRNAs that I'm talking about between cells to cells, and that's a really novel concept. But a lot of trouble is in looking at these little vesicles because they're so small. They're much smaller than a cell, and they're about 100 nanometers. I think working in prostate cancer, I hope to find some mechanism that's prostate cancer specific that I can hopefully target with new drugs. In biology, not everything works, the first time you try it. So a lot of when you're doing the experiments, things will fail over and over again. And really, you need to just push through that and think about the big picture of the cool, exciting new finding that you're on the cusp on. Prostate cancer is the #2, killer for cancer for men. It's really, it's a really debilitating disease. And if we can make any grounds to improving the diagnostics as well as the therapeutics, I think that would be huge. When I was younger, I thought getting a PhD or an MD would be really tough. I never thought that I was like a genius or I was exceptionally smart. But I worked hard. I worked decently hard. I had a lot of fun in college, and I still, I'm still here today at one of the best institutes in the country. So. Yeah, it's definitely doable. You really have to enjoy it. I think that's the thing. You have to have this curiosity of, what makes, the human body tick, or what makes biology tick, or, what makes nature, happen, and things like that.
Bye.